How do you do returns on Mercari if you're drop shipping? How's it going, everyone? It's Josh Albo, and in today's video I'm going to be going over a question I got on YouTube. How do you do returns on Mercari if you're drop shipping? Great question. This is where it gets challenging, but we're going to make it happen. So we've already established that when you're doing the drop shipping, when we always choose self-ship, right? Because that way we can put our own tracking number in. And then the recommendation generally, if you're selling a low ticket item, let's say, if you're selling something that's only, let's say, like less than $50, where you might only be making like a $10 to $20 profit, then I would say, because it's less risky. So this is for the shipping side. So we'll get into the actual answer for the question, but you'll see where I'm going with it. If you're only selling an item that, let's say, your total risk if you lose the entire thing is like $50, then I would put in the shipping address of the actual seller that you're drop shipping it from. The seller's address will be, because if Mercari does track the shipping number, then they're gonna see that it's coming from the number, the address on the package is coming from not the address that you put in. But let's say you're selling like a Supreme jacket, or you're selling like a $500 plus thing, then even though the shipping number that the shipping number that the person that you're buying it from is shipping to is going to have their address attached to that number. But you can always just say, I made the mistake of putting someone else's address in versus mine. When you tell Mercari where the shipping address that you're sending it from is, put your address in, and try this first, because this is just my assumption. Put your address as the shipping address and the buyer as the buyer's address. That way, just in case, let's say, because it's a higher ticket item for Mercari, you can only sell up to $2,000 items anyway, so it's not like you can't get really more high ticket than 500 plus. But because it's a more expensive item, that way if it does get returned, which you should, if you're only selling good stuff, the odds of it getting returned are bad, are low. So again, this is all like strategy. There's no like real science to it. It's like, if it works, it works. But like, use common sense. If the buyer seems like they're gonna back out of the deal, fuck them. Like, don't waste your time with a quick $100 profit just because you can. Like, have a little bit of patience. Have, like, some just intellectual patience by not trying to get the quick $100 because they're gonna end up returning it anyway. Like, the risk is in you sending it and then not getting it back because you wanted that quick like $100 versus just be patient. Someone else will buy it, hopefully for an even better price in the future, but then we don't take the risk of them sending it back. So you can kind of like get the buyer's vibe when they're going over that. But because it's a more expensive item, put your address in the sender address, the buyer's address in the receiving address, even though it's going to be coming from the original, like the address that's going to be actually coming from on the shipping number is going to be the original seller. So let's say you're buying it from Best Buy. That's going to be the address linked to the shipping number. But I don't know that Mercari even tracks it that close. So try this with like a $5 item. Set it up so that you put your address in the sender address, buyer's address in the buyer address, but then ship it from like a direct thing, and you can buy it for yourself with like a separate account. And then see if it goes through. If everything works, then you're good to go. The likelihood, all of the risk comes in if you're dealing with a shitty buyer. We don't want to deal with shitty buyers. We don't want to deal with poor people. We don't want to deal with like people who are concerned about the price. Like, it's not worth the hassle. If you only have 10 grand in your name, then you might be like still in the point where like you're still putting up with shitty buyers. But what I've learned in the process over the last 4 or 5 years, you don't want to deal with people that are going to nag you over the price. Like, if they're not going to, it's not worth it. The people that aren't willing to pay what you know that it's worth, just don't worry about them. Just don't waste your time. If they're going to nag you now, they're going to nag you in the future. They're going to be more likely to return it. It's not worth it. Like, your peace of mind isn't worth that. Max it's going to be is $2 grand, unless it is worth $2 grand. But those are your own standards. It's not worth $2 grand for me. It's not worth, like, if I look at my SMA clients, like, it might not even be worth like 10 to 12 grand. But depending on like what your standards are, which is like a total separate side note, that will determine if you're willing to like go back and forth with these people. But all in all, I would say don't deal with people that are like, you feel like you get the vibe that they're most likely to return it. Hope that answers your question. If it didn't answer your question, leave another comment. I'll go over the specifics with you. If it did answer your question and you want more information on this, join my Facebook mentorship group. It's $50 a month. Just comment and say that you want in, and I'll get you added in that. And we go over all this stuff that we're going over on the YouTube channel, but it's way more focused, way more like laser target focused versus just the general basics on the YouTube channel. I get all the questions answered in that group, so you get a lot more value out of that. If you're watching the video on YouTube, leave either a thumbs up or thumbs down. If you like the video, leave a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, leave a thumbs down. So that way I know if these videos are either like working or worth making or not, if I'm wasting my time. And then if you like it, I'll keep making more of them. Thanks for watching as always, and I'll see everyone in the next video.